Hey everyone, today I would like to introduce to you conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is very useful, I use it a lot, and what it does basically is it allows you to take a range of data and kind of view it in a more simple and easy to understand way, often in the form of coloring data. So we're going to talk about coloring data today. And what you do is you format the range to say, for example, for state, PA has its own color. We'll say red. So every time you type in PA in your selected range, the cell will be colored red, and it makes viewing data a lot easier. So the first thing you want to do in conditional formatting is select the range of data that you would like to format. For our first example, we're going to go over the type of company, small, intermediate, or large. So what you want to do is highlight that range that you want to format, and then you select up here, Format, Conditional Formatting, and then it brings you to this Conditional Format Rules tab on the right. So you have your range D2 to D19. Now, if you didn't do that, we'll cancel. If you didn't select it beforehand, say your cell was selected out here in the open, you do the same thing, format, conditional formatting, and it has H5, this cell selected. You could either type in the range you want to use here, it was D2 to D19, or you could type it in here. And then you hit OK, and then you're ready to move on to the next part of conditional formatting. Now when you look at format rules, it says format the cell if, and right now the default is not empty, and it gives you this green color as the default. So all the cells in our range are not empty, so they go as green. Now we could also do is empty, we could do text options, date options, or number options, or a custom formula. We'll start by talking about text options, and we'll do text is exactly. So it's going to format the cell if the text is exactly whatever we type into here. We'll start with small. So if the text is exactly small, we want it to be, we'll do orange, and you could also do other parts besides just the color of the cell. We'll make it bold, and we'll make the text color a little darker orange. A little darker than that. We'll do this one. So when it's a small company, it will show up as this. So we'll hit done, and then notice if you change another one of the other companies to small, it should pop up orange as well. Now you could do this just the same for the other ones. We'll type in our range, and then we'll do if text is exactly intermediate, and then we'll do the same thing as before, but yellow. And you can just keep on going like that. That's kind of hard to see. You can keep on going like that, and it's really easy to get into a groove. Once you practice it enough, this part becomes kind of second nature, but there's other parts to conditional formatting that are a little bit trickier than just this, and we'll go over those in a second. So we just formatted by a text option. You could also do the other options like we saw before. The date, date is before, date is after, number, greater than, less than, equal to, between a certain range. You could do that if you'd like. Or you could do another option, which we're going to go over right now, which is a color scale. Now the color scale is used when you want to see kind of the degree of numbers. It's always a numerical when compared to other numbers. So we'll do revenue for our example. We'll apply it to the range E2 to E19. And what the scale does is it gives you, there are certain default options you could choose. One just popped up, and these are the most common ones, but you could also choose your own color, where you set a color for the minimum value, the maximum value, and those are kind of the two extremes. And then everything in the middle is a gradient of that color. So what we'll do for this is the lowest revenue will be white and the highest will be green. So white to green. We'll click on that and you'll hit done, and then you'll notice the darkest green is the company with the highest revenue, and the whitest white is the company with the lowest revenue. And then you can kind of see how much revenue each company has compared to the other based on its degree of green or whiteness. And you could also change it to other colors to suit however you want to see your data. There are other complexities you can get into when it comes to conditional formatting, but we'll save that for another video. These are just kind of the basics you need to know, and it's really simple to use as far as the basics go once you just practice with it a little. So I highly recommend looking into it because it's a great way to view your data in a way that makes it easy to understand. Remember, in my last video, if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. We talked about filters, and filters are another great way to look at data. Conditional formatting and filters kind of go hand in hand in that sense. So if you liked today's video and thought you learned something from it, please leave a comment on what you learned and give a like, and please subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Thank you.